So today I want to talk about Lapis. I don't really like her character. I did in the beginning. I really did. I think her character design was really cool. Blue is my favorite color, so I definitely was drawn to her because of that. And then her original story, being trapped in a mirror for thousands of years, that sounded so interesting. And she wasn't like a heroic character. She was, she wanted to go home. It was very simple, and, it was a really interesting contrast to Steven and the Crystal Gems, who were very heroic characters, right? Her original episodes showed her being held prisoner and immobile for thousands of years, and in the start of the series, it was obvious that she was a victim. She wanted to go home and was willing to do anything to do so, and even though she did bad things, taking the ocean, obviously, that would have some effect on the world, but we're going to pretend that that's not an issue. She ended up hurting Greg's leg. She ended up just, hurting people in general. She wasn't exactly free of blame, but she was still friends of Steven, on friendly terms at least, and she could be redeemed. More or less before she left, she could fix things, and she was, I would say, an anti-hero. Not a hero, not exactly, but morally gray. She warned Steven of Homeworld. She was still on his side for a hot minute, and the shift in her character from black and white victim to something else came from her fusion with Jasper. So fusion in Steven Universe is shown as the embodiment of a relationship, but also as a physical manifestation of sex. So her fusion with Jasper was under false pretenses, and while she was fused with her, she took out annoyances and grievances and all of her anger on Jasper. She forced her to stay fused, and she admitted later to enjoying hurting her. And therein stems our problem. After all of this, she is still shown as the victim. Her depression, when she moves in with Peridot and she's just a complete and total ass for literally no reason. Oh, it's because, she was in a bad, she was in a bad place before this. Yeah? Was she? Did she not choose to be there? She's still portrayed as a victim all the way into the end of the series. And I don't like this. On the boat, when Steven takes Peridot out in that boat, Jasper approaches her and tries to get her to fuse again. In that scene, that's when she admits to enjoying hurting Jasper, and that scene really paints it more like Jasper, the victim, was coming back to Lapis, her abuser. So, I feel like they tried to do she's depressed because she was in a bad fusion, but it should have been she's depressed because she was trapped in a mirror for thousands of years. And even if that was what they were going for and it somehow got meddled, it doesn't change anything. Even if mental illness stemmed from past events, even if it's from something bad, like her behavior is not excused by it. You can have mental health problems and it doesn't automatically excuse you from being an ass. Honestly, my biggest problem with Lapis's character is just that she was shown as a victim in an abusive relationship when she was 100% the abuser. Okay? She was not a good person. She was an abuser, and the entire time she's being shown as a victim, and that just makes it very confusing, especially when the main audience is children. Not a lot of people actually even bother talking about it, because somewhere in the middle, Lapis turned into like a manic emo girl, and her character just kind of lost. But that's what she was portrayed as. A good guy who was a victim the entire way, and it's not her fault, and that is just not true. It's not true. So, I know that this is very nitpicky. This is a show that's been over for a hot minute. But I do think that in the future, especially if Rebecca Sugar continues doing this trend of trying to deal with, deep stuff, if children's cartoons in general keep starting to deal with stuff like mental illness, which is really hard to show in a nuanced way in a children's show, in any show to be honest, but in a children's show especially, you need to show abusive relationships in as clear a way as possible. You don't have to be as ham-fisted as, wow, one person hits person B, and therefore abusive, therefore bad, but you do need to make it clear in the end who did what and who's to blame. This, dear viewers, is where we part. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate everything you guys do, the comments, the upvotes, everything. I love interacting, so go ahead and give me ideas for videos, and I promise I'll do them. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.